Hello, this is Delia again. I'm reading The Struggle. This is Chapter 6, Part 2. So I'm right here. And forced his eyes away. Looking much longer at the would drive him crazy. That wasn't what I meant, he said brusquely. The shining veil of her hair fell over the marks again, hiding them. Oh, come in. As they did, walking into the room, conversation stopped. Elena looked at the faces and turned toward them, at the curious, furtive eyes and the wary expressions. Not the kind of look she was used to getting when she made an entrance. It was another student who opened the door for them. Alaric Salzman was nowhere in sight, but Caroline was seated on a bar stool which showed off her legs to their best advantage. She gave Elena a mocking look and then made some remark to a boy on her right, and he laughed. Elena could feel her smile start to go painful while a flush crept up toward her face. Then a familiar voice came to her. "Elena, Stefan, over here." Gratefully, she spotted Bonnie sitting with Meredith and Ed Goff on a love seat in the corner. She and Stefan settled on a large ottoman opposite them, and she heard the conversation start to pick up again around the room. By tacit agreement, no one mentioned the awkwardness of Elena and Stefan's arrival. Elena was determined to pretend that everything was as usual, and Bonnie and Meredith were backing her. "You look great," said Bonnie warmly. "I just love that red sweater." "She does look nice, doesn't she, Ed?" said Meredith, and Ed, looking vaguely startled, agreed. "So your class was invited to this too," Elena said to Meredith. "I thought maybe it was just 7th period." "I don't know if invited is the word," replied Meredith dryly, "considering that participation is half our grade. Do you think he was serious about that?" "He couldn't be serious," put in Ed. Elena shrugged, and he sounded serious to me. "Where's Ray?" she asked Bonnie. "Ray? Oh, Ray, I don't know. Around somewhere, I suppose." There's a lot of people here. That was true. The Ramsey living room was packed, and from what Elena could see, the crowd flowed into the dining room, the front parlor, and probably the kitchen as well. Elbows kept brushing Elena's hair as people circulated behind her. "What did Salzman want with you after class?" Stefan was saying. "Alaric," Bonnie corrected primly. "He wants us to call him Alaric. Oh, he was just being nice. He felt awful for making me relive such an agonizing experience. He didn't know exactly how Mr. Tanner died, and he hadn't realized I was so sensitive. Of course, he's incredibly sensitive himself, so he understands what it's like. He's an Aquarius." "With the moon rising in pickup lines," said Meredith under her breath. "Bonnie, you don't believe that garbage, do you? He's a teacher. He shouldn't be trying that out on students." "He wasn't trying anything out. He said exactly the same thing to Tyler and Sue Carson. He said we should form a support group for each other, or write an essay about that night to get our feelings out. He said teenagers are all very impressionable, and he didn't want the tragedy to have a lasting impact on our lives." "Oh, brother," said Ed, and Stefan turned a laugh into a cough. He wasn't amused, though, and his question to Bonnie hadn't been just idle curiosity. Elena could tell. She could feel it radiating from him. Stefan felt about Alaric Salzman the way that most of the people in this room felt about Stefan, wary and mistrustful. Okay, and I'll continue to part 3.